Welcome back, everyone. Today, we're casting our nets wide to explore a topic that's fundamentally reshaping global trade and geopolitics: China's burgeoning maritime expansion and its ambitious Belt and Road Initiative, or BRI. Forget what you thought you knew about global commerce, because China isn't just playing in the game. It's practically built the stadium, the teams, and even the rules of engagement. China, the undisputed king of the seas. Let's set the scene. Imagine the vast, interconnected network of global trade, with countless ships plying the world's oceans. Now, picture China at the very heart of it. This isn't just exaggeration. The numbers are truly amazing. We're talking about a world where 1 in 2 ships sailing the high seas is Chinese-built. That's like if every other car you see on the road was made by one single company. And if you're picturing those massive container ships, consider this. 95% of the containers on board, and even 86% of the special wheeled frames they sit on, called chassis, are Chinese. From the busy ports of Le Havre, Dunkirk, and Marseille in Europe to countless others across the globe, China has smartly placed itself at important spots where ships travel. This isn't just about being really good at business. It's about making global trade undeniably dependent on China. It's a level of control that's truly incredible. The Belt and Road Initiative, weaving a new global tapestry. This strong presence on the sea isn't by accident. It's a carefully thought-out plan called the Belt and Road Initiative. Think of the BRI as China's big dream to create new ways for goods to travel all over the world, both on land and, super importantly, by sea. This big plan, which was even made a top national priority, almost like a permanent rule, in China's constitution in 2017, is all about building connections, helping countries trade more, and spreading China's influence across continents. A great example of this plan in action is the Chancay port in Peru. This isn't just any port. It's a super modern facility, mostly owned by a big Chinese shipping company called COSCO. The Chancay port is going to make shipping times for farm products from South America to China much, much shorter, aiming to cut a 45-day trip down to just 35 days. This is just one of an amazing 129 ports or port projects that China is involved with globally as part of the BRI. Navigating geopolitical waters, U.S. containment, and China's response. But why is China so focused on expanding its reach across the oceans? Part of the answer is like a big game of strategy, similar to a chess match between countries. China's growth on the sea can be seen as a way to respond to what it feels are efforts by the United States to limit its power. This includes something called the Island Chain Strategy, which is like a line of over 250 American military bases that seem to surround China. A big weak spot for China, often called its Malacca Dilemma, is the Strait of Malacca. Imagine a super busy highway for ships, but it's very narrow. A huge 90% of the fuel China needs to power its country, its lifeblood of energy, travels through this relatively small and potentially risky waterway. The BRI, with its wide network of ports and trade routes, aims to make this risk smaller by offering other ways for these important resources to get to China. And how well the BRI is doing this is clear. It now includes 151 member states, which is a remarkable 77% of countries all over the world. Trade wars and economic resilience. We've also seen how China has handled tough disagreements about trade. Remember the big trade war started by President Donald Trump, with extra taxes, called tariffs, on Chinese goods, sometimes making them 145% more expensive? China's response has shown how strong its economy is and how smart it is at finding new ways to do business. It has successfully relied less on exports to the U.S., dropping from 22% in 2000 to a more manageable 14%, by actively looking for and building new markets for its products all around the world. Beyond commerce, military implications, and debt diplomacy. Now, let's talk about a big question that often comes up when we discuss China's global port investments. Are these just business projects, or do they have hidden military goals? China's smart investments in ports at important narrow passages, like the Bab el-Mandeb Strait and its first military base outside its own country in Djibouti, certainly make people wonder. While China has established its first military base outside its country compared to America's hundreds, the line between business interests and possible military uses can sometimes be unclear. Another important concern is what some people call debt diplomacy. Imagine borrowing money from a friend to buy something big, but then you can't pay them back. Sometimes, instead of getting their money, they might ask for something else in return, like using your favorite toy for a very, very long time. That's kind of what happened with Sri Lanka's Hambantota port. Because Sri Lanka couldn't pay back loans from China, it had to let China use the port for a super long time, 99 years. This situation, along with others like Djibouti, where China's loans make up 70% of the country's total money earned, makes people wonder about whether these big BRI projects are truly helpful and if they might cause debt problems for developing countries. So, what does this all mean for the future of how countries trade and get along? China's expansion on the sea is a powerful force that is changing how goods travel, how countries work together, and how economies around the world are set up. It's a complicated picture, with huge business opportunities mixed with important strategic questions.